Okay.
I pulled some of the older things that you haven't seen that I, brought up to, kind of brought it up to speed. So anyway,
That's okay.
but then and then I'm struggling with some of the first ones I want to show you. So those may take some time. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna go this one first or set one, this one first?
Yeah, the set one. Yeah. Because those are the hardest ones. Um,
Okay.
right. A
This is
21.
this is looking really, this is, I really like this one. So you
Ah,
worked on it. You added the little white flowers, right?
right. You had, and they're not as ghosty as I'd like, but
No, you know what? You need to tone. They're too bright.
sharp.
Yeah, they're
Too sharp.
too all one color. So they just need to go
Okay.
softer. Also, I'm wondering whether I'm wondering if the flowers on this side are competing with the woman in
Yeah.
the chair. So how do you, I'm going to put this question on you actually. How would you push and pull? How would you maybe push and pull the flowers or the woman to kind of soften one or maybe even both?
Yeah, I agree. I want to say after I put all these colors in, I thought, oh, I should have just left it because I had a lot more white and it was much more subtle.
Yeah.
So I just thought, oh, what did I do?
Well,
So
okay,
that,
but wait, the top, this part, the top part here, the
yeah,
purple, this purple is really important. And
to
this
tie it in.
purple, yeah, this
Yeah,
purple is really important because that gives it that sort of connection to the rest of
yeah,
your dress.
right, right.
Okay, so let's talk. There's two things going on here. Okay, so this is why sometimes, like for me, I feel like thank God I worked in black and white for so long that I really, got a lot
Yeah,
of things nipped in the butt because color adds
yeah,
so much complication and
yeah,
it's so, I think for the artist, it's so like carrot, like donkey, like come use me, like I'm
yeah,
good,
yeah, yeah.
do more, add
Well,
more, like put more of
right.
that. And
Well,
then
when
you're like,
I stepped
yeah.
back and I said, that's too much, but I'm not going to do anything
But I do
because,
it all the time
yeah,
too. I'm like, I love like, and you get like, it's almost like it's like an artist intoxication where you get
yeah,
caught up in the moment and you're literally like punch drunk and like
right,
think that it's
right.
all beautiful. And okay, so that's
So
what
what I would, so
I'm right.
your question was how would I
How
soften?
would you
Well, I was
how
thinking
would
to
you soften
soften.
one side? Or yeah,
Yeah,
how would
so the left side, which is the flower, those colorful flower sides are
yeah,
really too dominant. So I think I would
okay.
just put a couple of layers of just wax medium on to
A
soften them,
plus.
put them
A
back.
A plus. Perfect answer. So I
Oh,
think if
okay.
you took a small as okay, so check the surface that it's dry. Take
Yeah.
a small or medium sized clean hake brush
Hmm.
and wax medium and go almost just very smooth. You could go horizontally this way, or which would probably be easier because if it's textured, it's going to be harder for the brush to travel over it. So you could just go like
Uh-huh.
this. And then what that's going to do is it's going to take all of that and put it
Back.
visually. Yes, not
Yeah.
physically, but
Right.
visually, it's going to move it back.
Okay. Let me just go check it. I can look at it right now and see how much. Yeah, a lot of it is textured, but it is dry.
Okay.
So you're saying like little swirl, you can't see me. You're saying like little swirl
No,
circles,
I'm
not
saying
one big
no, no, I'm saying nice little straight
straight,
horizontal lines. Basically,
horizontal,
yeah,
like
from
from
like
left to
her,
right. Yeah.
yep, basically from the outside of the figure, her hat, her face, her arm
Yeah.
to the left.
Okay. Okay. So
And
that would be that would be the first thing. Okay.
yeah, and I think that, and I mean, I would even maybe do the whole background. I might do the other side behind her head too. And I think what you're going to end up wanting to do, and again, you can go, if you go over her a little bit by accident, it's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Just,
Mm-hmm.
fuse it gently and then let it cool down. And then you can remove some of the wax
Mm-hmm.
because she's really sharp. she's
Yeah.
very in focus and very sharp. So you're not going to hurt her, and you can just reduce the wax on her face. But I think it'll give you more once you cover it with the wax medium, it'll
Yeah.
give you more push and pull, and you'll be able to pick
Hmm.
out what you want.
Yeah. Good.
I think
Okay.
it'll also, I think these
Uh,
colors are pretty. I do think that this green at the bottom is
yeah.
too bright green. I think it's just
Hmm.
too,
Should I put some sap green on it or some,
I think the whatever color green that you used at the top, I would
oh yeah.
add a little bit of that green, and it can be on top of the wax layer or it can be under the wax layer. If you do it under, you have to put it on there, let it dry, and then do the wax.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So that's with pigment stick, right?
I think
Not
so.
with,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't. I think
Okay.
encaustic is just too hard to handle in that situation.
Hmm. Okay. Good.
Um,
It'd be nice to do one that's a little transparent because I like the, not the texture, but the variation in the green. So I'd hate to cover that up. So if
Now
I
let me
could
ask
do
you
it,
this: Is this? Yeah, no, don't cover it up. I think it's just a little too bright. And the thing about
yeah.
a bright color is that it moves forward no matter
Yeah.
what, no matter what.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: Do you see? Is this her hand? This white?
That's a stupid hand. I
Okay, so this is what I want you to do: Is I
okay.
want you to I
Because
don't I don't
I
want you
thought
to try to lay the stencil down again, the
okay.
fabric.
Mhm.
But what you could do is you could take a small knitting needle or incising tool, and
Oh.
you're gonna just mirror the pattern.
Oh,
Make the
cool.
dots. Just
Oh
make
yeah.
the dots and put a little bit of purple pigment stick on it.
And just work it in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So we
just
don't
blend
even
it
see your
in.
hand at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
The
you're literally
magic.
just gonna blend it. You're just gonna blend like you're just gonna
Okay.
blend a like surface with a blend.
Yeah. Yeah, that I thought, well, I'll do it the hand white to make it like a white glove, but it's just stupid. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Yeah.
No,
Well,
and
that's
you
a
know
great
what?
idea.
You did a great job getting rid of the rest of her arm, so it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like it's looks almost like half of a flower, or
Yeah, right. No, yeah, it's dumb. Okay, that sounds great. So
and then the flowers,
the white flowers, yeah.
they just need a little bit of. You can put, you know what? You have that nice. They could have a little bit of red in them, whatever this color is, the pink.
Just soft,
Yeah, really
not
soft, a
the
little gray, and just because they can't be, they're just all bright white right now.
okay. I when you did it on the Photoshop, it was with a very soft brush, so it kind of bled out. So first I did the stencil, it was too sharp. And then
Right.
I took that off, and then I put on pigment stick, and it just looked horrible. So I took that off, and I did the stencil again like 2 nights ago. And
Right.
I like it better. But I did like it soft, where it's kind of floating out, but I don't know how to get that kind of how do I say that softer line on it.
Well, so what happens is you have to, it doesn't matter about the actuality of the wax doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to use
Mm-hmm.
color. You just have to, and
The
this could
cheat.
be a
Yeah.
spot too where you could use a little bit of your pan pastels, right? Because
Uh,
you like those pan pastels and they're softer than and they're
I
maybe,
actually I don't like the pan pastels. I mean, every time I've tried, I mess it up and then I can't
all
get
right.
it
So,
out and it
okay, so
gums up.
don't use the pan.
Okay.
But you can
I,
use,
I
you
should
can,
learn it. Yeah, right.
no, they're hard, but you can use you can use little paint. Have you ever just bought yourself a couple little paint brushes?
Oh yeah, I've got some really very fine. Oh, you can't see. I've got some really fine detail brushes.
Yeah, and then you can also use, what I do is I actually keep one brush around that's clean. And so
Uh-huh.
you put the pigment stick on with the brush, and then you use the clean brush to
Oh, to
blend
clean it
it.
up. Oh
Yeah, to blend
yeah.
it. So you can kind of put the line. I always think of that famous Gerhard Richter, who's like a famous realist painter. And
Mm.
he always says, like, draw a straight line and then
Hmm.
take a clean empty brush and 1 2 1 2. So it's like, I 1 2 1 2. So that line becomes blurry, which the blur
Mm-hmm.
vibrates a sense of softness to the eye.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it just makes things look more like candle lit or
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sharp, softer, right?
Yeah. Also, should I put another layer of wax medium over the white flowers, just again
No,
to tone them down? No, don't.
no,
Okay,
I think
just
you'll
leave it.
be able to blend those.
Okay.
I mean,
All
it
right.
wouldn't hurt, but it'll be harder to paint them if they have, it'll be harder to paint them if you have
Okay. The
wax medium
encaustic.
on them. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a totally different surface to paint them, which it's
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
Um,
Well, actually, they are wax. It's like a white wax encaustic. That's the flower.
yeah, but I think you want
Okay.
to paint the flower. I don't think you want to paint on the smooth surface of a wax surface.
Okay. Okay.
I think you
All
want
right.
the thing that you're
Mhm.
gonna get when you paint them now is you're gonna
Mm.
get this shape and you
Yeah,
can touch it and feel it. If you put wax over it, you're gonna lose your connection to the shape.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. Because
Well,
it'll be
great.
underneath some wax. It'll be
Okay.
all right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that this one's getting close. I once you
This
do
was
the wax
tough.
medium too, I think you can go
Mhm.
across the top, across
Mhm.
all the way
Okay.
around here. And you can even go right over her face and then
Pull
fuse
it
it
out.
and then use your
Mm.
little wood scraping tool to bring her just and I think you'll like it because then you can kind of pick and choose what part of her face you want sharp.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. We're good with that
Okay.
one?
Oh, that's great. Because I looked at it and said, oh, what a mess. I totally messed it up.
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all. It's so
those are
close.
good suggestions.
No,
So
not
this
it's
next one, this
good.
one is still in process.
Uh-huh.
I started again, I looked at it yesterday. And this is horrible. What did I do? And I started painting in the flowers. Said, okay, I'm liking it better, but
I
I haven't
love the
finished.
flowers.
I haven't finished painting the flowers. It just literally got dark last night, and I just said, okay, that's it. So I'm liking it better than I did yesterday.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Okay, so there's a lot to look at and it's interesting. I actually really like how her dress is like kind of it's almost like she's like propelled by this water
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
under here. It's like lifting her up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
Hmm.
interesting. And I like the focal points of all these different flowers. And there's faces in here.
The
It's pretty.
face, those are the masks. So this is the series with the masks. So this is the summer portrait.
So I'm wondering if you could add a little bit of green.
Oh, I will do green, but
I think
yeah,
you should add like a little bit of pigmented green in
you're
these
right. Yeah, that's where
flowers.
I haven't put any pigment stick for any of the other colors, but I've
Yeah.
got green on the palette, and I wasn't sure if I should put in some a blue, one or two blue flowers and a little pop
I
of
think you're gonna
yellow.
need some blue somewhere
Okay,
else in the picture
okay,
than just at the bottom.
okay. So I could do one or two blue flowers, and then should
Or
I?
just like a high as like a bounce light, the blue. You could put a little bit of blue, I think, in her shawl, like in her shoulder area.
Oh, that's a good idea. Make that because I was wondering what should I do with that. So make it into a shawl and
It is
put
like a
some
shawl. It feels like
blue.
she's wearing just like like a pashmina or a cloak.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it has that vibe.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's great. Great. Okay.
it
So
has that
not,
vibe.
so
Like
I shouldn't do a blue flower or a yellow flower, but if I put some blue into the shawl and
yeah,
some bounce blue.
think of the blue being like that bouncy light that kind of
Okay.
like moves around. Like
Okay.
like when
Okay.
you're standing close to like a red car, you kind of get like a rosy reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think about
Okay.
that type of light that kind of comes up
Mm-hmm.
off the water and bounces off your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd be like the blue could be there could be a little bit of blue on her dress, and then there could be a little bit of blue up here, right? And then a little bit of blue like in this white flower, or even on top of one of, just a tiny little bit. And then is
Okay.
this a big flower here, this white
It
one?
is, yeah, and I was debating, yeah, I thought I'll wait. Should I just continue with the pinky things or should I
No, I
have
like
that
it
blue
white.
or
I think you've got
leave it
enough
white?
pink. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yeah,
have the
and
white flowers and
I honestly like this like grayish flower up here. Like I think that you could even make this one kind of like white and gray. Like this one, see how this one's
oh,
black and white,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
this one could be black and white. The center could be black. You could try that and see how that works for
Oh,
you.
cool. Wow. I was thinking the part that you were saying gray up at the top flower, that's really leaves. So that's where I would put some green in there, but I could tone them down.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that would look great if there's a little
yeah,
bit of
okay.
green up there. Yep, and a little bit of green in these leaves.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And
And
then
then
I've
I
got
would do
yeah.
something to gradient, like this side of the
Mhm.
wax, like night, the great has like lighter colors and dark.
Mhm.
This side is very solid.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if you added like a little bit of lighter green or even a little bit of
Okay.
yellow. You have no yellow.
Well, I was going to ask about okay, light of green on the as a gradient on the right side. Okay.
It could be a white, like, yeah, pigment stick, because you did a nice job with all the other tones. Like this has a lot of dimension, and
That's actually that has texture because it's
yeah, it's nice.
I took like blue, different colored blue tissue paper and I
Yep,
crumpled it and then
yep.
just totally waxed it and then embedded more and built it up.
Yeah, I really like it. It looks really,
Good.
yeah,
Okay. Now
yeah,
those little wax stencils, see the little white stencil flowers on the right, and there's another
uh-huh,
set that's on the,
yeah.
should I leave those plain or put a
I
little
would leave them
yellow or
plain. I think that they
plain?
have, yeah. So
Okay.
this is the thing too. It's like they're standing up off the background and they're sharp.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot. They draw your eye because they have a lot of detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't necessarily need another color
Okay. So no plain.
right now.
Okay.
Let's, yeah, I mean, let's make the other changes and then you can kind of leave
Just
it as
see. Okay.
yeah, as a last hurrah. Like, oh,
So with the dress, you'd be proud of me with this. The skirt,
mhm.
I put the stencil, it was that lace thing that you said, oh, you took it from the studio. I said, no, I got it.
No, I
But
thought
anyway,
you, was like,
no,
no,
no.
it's fine. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen anybody else with that same
I
pattern.
know when I saw it in what it Joanne's, I said,
That's
I've got to
cool.
get that. Anyway,
That's
so I
so
put that
cool.
down and I
That's
put
probably
it,
where it came from.
but I put it down. No, yours was a nicer, it was real lace. This was this is
Oh,
really
really? You think
junk.
it's fine? You think yours was a cop? You think yours was a copy? That's so interesting.
Yes, I do because
Oh,
it's really that, really junk late, anyway. So
okay.
I put dark purple down and I looked at it and I said, that's horrible. I want spring. I want it light. This is too dark. So
Right.
I said, okay, Leah would say you can either take it off or put something on it. So I thought, all right,
Yeah.
I will. I took off the shawl, took it off the shawl, but then so I put white on. I thought, hey, that looks pretty good. And I thought, oh, what if I put a little bit of the pink for the flowers and that? So I actually like it. I mean,
I love it. I actually really like this piece. It has like you create these like spiritual like women icon figures. They're almost like totems of
yeah,
women. Like they're like statue, like but they're move like this one has movement. I don't know. I really like it. I,
good. Yeah.
yeah, and I like I like the combinations, and this is something that I like in my work where it's like photographic, painted, and the stencils are the kind of like three things you're using to describe
Mm-hmm.
the being or the
Yeah.
attributes of the being, and I think you
Mhm.
did that really well, like the way you painted these. You have like photo and then you got what I mean, it has a nice rhythm too, the piece.
I like it now. Well, thank you. I like it now. I'll tell you, yesterday morning I looked and I said, ugh, what am I going to do with this thing? Anyway,
Yeah, no,
so I'm
I
having
think it needs,
fun.
yeah, I think
Really.
it needs a little, I think that this side, this green needs some help. So it needs
Sure.
like
Okay.
it needs some maybe like I like the idea that this is sort of like atmospheric, almost as if it's like, you know, like a smoke bomb or something, like, you know, like
Mm, mm,
it's almost like green vapor, like,
mm.
so it doesn't feel as heavy. The thing about it being one solid color, it makes it feel very solid, like it's
Okay.
a wall. And I don't
Make
feel
it
like
soft.
this piece, it's more, has more of a vibe or an aura than a solid, you know, it's not solid.
Mm. Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay.
Cool.
That's going to be very helpful. It gives me hope again.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think it's sweet. All right, let's see.
So the next one, this is this is I made some changes to the spring version.
Uh-huh.
Um and you the roots go all the way down. I think you saw that. It goes onto the the cradle board side. But
Okay.
so this is, I
Oh,
mean,
cool. Yeah, round. Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like this one's done, but I wanted to check it with you if that what you
Yeah,
feel.
I love what you did with her, the hair, the
I
hat.
know.
That is
I don't know
incredible.
what I don't know how that came up, but
I think that's
that was
incredible. Okay,
fun.
so my thoughts on this one is that these flowers
Hmm.
are, I mean, it's weird. Like this background, you did a great job. Okay, like congratulations. You did a super job on the going away flowers.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if these are just a little bit too, if they're competing with,
So should I put a little encaustic on it? A little
you could
medium?
just tone them down. I mean, I think that if
Hmm.
they had just a little bit of like graphite gray on them,
Oh, okay, okay,
rather than
okay.
cover them, because you did so much nice, like they have such great texture. I just think they're a little bit bright.
Yeah, okay. Hmm.
And I think that the head, this whole thing around her head is really like this. So again, this is the hierarchy, right, of the imagery. Like if you want someone to stay in here,
Hmm.
you need to not
Tone
have,
that down.
right,
Okay,
because
I
it's
got it.
hard to stay here when you want to look at these guys.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's either like these guys are the most important, and then someone has to
Right,
be first and someone has to be second, right? That's just how it
right.
functions.
So it sounds like what I should do when I'm doing this work in color, because I'm really learning. If I take a black and white picture, it would become a lot more obvious, right? That these are too strong. The flowers are too strong.
I think that's helpful. I mean, I do all
Okay.
kinds of things to try to see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at
Mm,
encaustic, because there's a lot going on with encaustic when you're looking at it. So yes, I might take a picture, desaturate it, and then just look at the tonal values
yeah,
for composition
right.
and
Mm.
see. But the interesting thing about like pink in a black and white photo is it's gonna just look middle gray, right? And so,
Oh, so it's already going to go back. Oh,
right, so
okay.
that what you're probably gonna see in the black and white photo is you're gonna see like the dress, you know, as
I
being
see. Oh, because it's lighter, so it's going to come forward.
right.
Oh,
And
okay.
I have a technical question too. Like, so right here,
Mm-hmm.
this
Oh,
doesn't make sense. Where does her dress go?
oh, you're right. I didn't even see that. Oh, now I gotta
So,
get it.
so does like are I mean, it kind of looks like it's coming from behind, like she's pulling it, which is fine, but I'm curious
I hadn't, I didn't even see that, but it's weird
why
because
it
her
would be such
dress
a
goes in
cutout, right, of her dress with the flap.
and the dress goes into the ground also. I
No, I
mean,
like the dress going in
that's okay.
going into the ground. Yeah.
You know what I think I might do is make that flower on the right-hand side, make it so she's coming through the field so that,
Okay, wait.
um,
I have a question. I have an
okay.
idea. Okay,
Mhm.
so what if this flower stays the same?
Okay.
What if this dress? What if you take? I'm just. What if you take a little bit of a white pigment
Just
stick
swish it
and
down.
just
Yeah.
just paint like it's like the dress is kind of
Finish the,
translucent here,
okay.
right? So it goes like from here, like over here, just a little bit of white. It doesn't
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
whatever other like light brown. And then what if these two flowers just go a little bit dark, darker, so
With
they could have blue on them.
well,
So
or the graphite gray.
They could
the
have gray on them, but they could also just have this blue color on them.
blue from the sky.
Yeah,
Okay,
as if they're just like blending in a little bit more into the background.
I see. It's a
And this one
fishbowl.
could stay sharp.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can try it and see how it looks and then see.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even see that, and I should have seen it before I put the flowers in. Yeah,
Well,
that's
okay, but
interesting.
listen, sometimes so listen, every artist, and this is how I talk to my every artist has what I call um their freedom to act, right? So it's like you are the boss of your artist. Like you and your artist are the same person. So it's like your artist person does blah blah blah, and then
Mm-hmm.
you analyze it and look at it, but then you're like, okay, but that was a choice that that person made, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, do I again, like
Mm-hmm.
I find your work so I just always reminds me of Frida Kahlo's work. And I said this to you
Gee,
before.
yeah.
So like I don't know if Frida would question that she put a banner or that, her work
Mm-hmm.
isn't logical. Like I don't know that
Mm-hmm.
Frida would tell her, you know what I mean? Like Frida was
Right, right,
like,
right.
that's how I do it. Like that I could just see her saying it. Like, no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, right.
so
Yeah, but now that I look at it, there is something wrong with it. So for me, there is something wrong with it. Once I see it,
right, but
it's
does
like I didn't
wrong
even
mean that
notice
it's
it.
bad? Or does wrong
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It just means that it was a choice that you made, and what do you want to do about it? I mean, so you can think like, and also think about the weaving, right? Do you want this flower in
Hmm.
front of the dress, or do you want the dress in front of the flower,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So it could be one way to kind of like, put a little bit of weight here as if you're
Hmm. Hmm.
the dress is coming from behind, but then it's also coming over to that side. So you
Yeah.
play with it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
also think, no, I think it's okay. I was going to say that I think a little gray in the dress because I feel like you toned it with brown, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
But
like a peach. It's more of a peachy.
all
It's
right,
kind
I
of
think if
peachy.
you put a little bit of gray in here, it'll tie all this together, like a little bit of graphite gray, a little bit of graphite gray or white, and just kind of because it'll tie everything together.
Okay.
And go very slowly, right? Because it's very good.
Hmm.
Very
Oh,
close.
thank you.
Don't go too fast.
Okay. Yeah. And I think it's so interesting because when you talk about something, then I see it. Like I didn't even see that. Okay. And
No,
then so
right.
what's the way to solve it? I mean, it's just
Well, it's one of the, I mean, you're processing. It's just part of the process, right? You're
yeah.
processing. And again, it like when you're painting, you need to be in that painting space. It's almost like you need to be in that alpha, the
Hmm.
painter needs to be in that alpha role doing what the painter does.
Hmm.
You don't want to be holding back the painter when you're painting, but you want to analyze the work after you
Hmm.
painted it, and then you can go back and paint it again, right?
Hmm. Well, that's it. I thought that now I've done the four in the series, the series. It's each of the seasons. So this is the last, or the summer is the last one, and I really felt like I was doing them as studies, so that
Right.
pick one and then do it big. It's like so some of these questions that come up is that, oh, I know I need to put the dress in front. Okay, yeah. So okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting too because I often use the dress as my compositional fix because, like, I'm working on this piece with another student, and it was like it didn't really make sense when we collaged the pictures together that the dress stopped and where so we ended up like
Right.
elaborating on the dress and making the
Mhm.
dress bigger
Right.
so that
Right.
it sort of solved all. It was imaginative and it looked good, but it also solved a lot of the compositional issues,
Hmm. Hmm.
if that makes sense. So it's like,
It
okay,
does. Yeah.
it's sort of multi-purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
But maybe you can think about this too. It's like, you could leave it as it is because
Hmm.
it's interesting how the nature kind of, cut a hole or chunk a chunk out of, like, it's kind of, it's
Well, one
interesting.
one thing I was thinking was to soften it, not to totally cover the flower, but right now it looks like there's a square there, and make
Well,
it not a square. But I don't know.
or what about taking light blue, right?
Mhm.
And what about taking like slimming the dress so she's skinnier and there's just this sort of, you know what I mean? There's blue, so it's like almost like the dress is just
Oh,
so
pull
more
the
of that
dress
like,
back. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
more of that like coming, coming out of the blue, like maybe she's more in the blue, like adding blue to
Hmm.
her
Oh, that's true. To
rather
take
than
away.
going over the flowers that you did such a great job on. Another question would be,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, that might make a lot more sense.
right, just taking
Right.
blue pigment stick and
To that corner there. Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
so yep, and
Yeah.
then or add more flowers right on top of it, or add more flowers. So add a flower, little like the little flower here. So then,
Okay.
right, so other
Lots of
ideas.
choices.
Yeah, choices to,
Yeah.
right. So you see a problem, and then there's more than one way to fix it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And they all kind of have different implications. So you can
Hmm.
decide which one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now this one, so um I did the pigment stick. The picture itself was too narrow. The photograph was too narrow. So I had to do something for the right hand side, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's
And
too
and
tough.
I did, I tried the things where I put in color in, and then I tried the colors. But but then I said, okay, I tried that. Oh, and I put some stencil and this was tissue that I embedded. But I thought, you know what? Why don't I just go back to the photograph and do like a pour on it, which I've never done. So
Yeah.
I actually made myself the other day. I said, okay, I've got this little 13-inch printer and I've got the hand-me-old paper. Let me see if I can do it. And I finally figured it out. And so the next one, the
This
next
one?
picture, yeah, the next
Uh-huh.
picture. I got a really high contrast. There's another one that actually was all the same settings, but it came out less contrasty. So I have another one that's black and white.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, okay, if I pour the wax on, and it'll probably be pretty thick, that's going to really tone this down
Yeah.
and just have it basically as the photograph.
Yeah. It's such a
So
beautiful photograph.
I
It
I
sort of reminds
really
me of
like it.
it reminds me of like a batik,
A what?
like a batik, the wax on fabric, like
Oh, I
it
never.
reminds me
Oh,
almost like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
tie dyed, like
Wow,
that the light is actually
wow,
like coming
wow,
through the photograph. I mean,
wow.
this would be a great photograph for a poured process. I
That's what I
agree.
was. Yeah. So I was wondering if, well, first of all, is this too contrasty? Because I have one that's a little less
No, I
contrasty.
love it. No, I
Oh,
love
okay. So, and then I was wondering if you have a video of you showing the pour. I mean, if I could learn to do this before our workshop.
yeah.
I practice, I've got some little 4x5s. I could practice on that, but just so I could learn that, and then I would do it on this 8x10 because
Yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna pour something tomorrow. The thing about the poured is I use a different type of wax.
oh, really?
Yeah, so I use here, I can show it to you. I use yeah, it's funny because I feel like I've got like just artistically, like I've moved away from the pouring because I did it for so long and I was just like, I needed to learn more about
Mhm,
encaustic and what else encaustic could do and all the,
mhm,
so now
mhm.
I feel like I've done a lot of that, but I do miss the pour. So the pour piece I use, if you go to waxes, I use this one. I use the bleached beeswax. It's BB.
Bleached, oh, BB, bleached beeswax. And does it have the,
It doesn't have anything in it. So
oh, it's
basically,
just beeswax. Okay.
it's just it's actually, yeah, it's like it's beeswax and it's whitened with hydrogen peroxide. And
Oh,
it's
so it's
very,
not, okay.
and there's no resin in it or
Right,
nothing.
there's no resin. Right,
So
okay.
keep it separate from all your waxes. So what you're gonna
Mhm.
do is just put it in a saucepan and melt it. If you're gonna do
What
pour
temperature? Does it have to be lower?
175, the same,
Okay, okay,
to 200, whatever's gonna melt it.
okay.
And then just mount your photo to the board.
Mhm, mhm,
I sand the edges so they're like flush.
mhm.
and then I pour the wax on, and then just
Yeah.
let it roll over. So the important thing is to lift. I do it in a cookie tray. If you're going to do small pieces, get yourself a cookie
Cookie
tray.
tray. I have a, yeah. Okay. Now, do you,
So I actually poured with Martha Stewart. If you actually really want to watch me do it, I did it with Martha Stewart in 2007. So you can go on YouTube and you can watch me do it.
that would be great. Martha Stewart.
So what I do is I just literally take the saucepan and I pour and I move the wax. So I go center and it pulls out, and then I go corner, 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 corner. So that the
Okay.
wax, because it's gonna hit the middle, move out, and then it's gonna cool down. And then
And
you're
it's
gonna
good.
want to
Okay.
connect it to go over the outside edges.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, I would like to watch it. So I go to Martha Stewart to YouTube
I think
to
I can send you
you.
here.
Okay.
I think it's just we just watched this. I think it's wait. Oh wait, hang on, let me see. With guest star Leah McDonald.
Oh, Martha Stewart with Liam McDonald. That's
I don't
great.
know. I don't know what it's gonna.
Okay.
It should be on YouTube. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, I think this is it right.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Oh wait,
Cool.
maybe it's on my website. No, this is not it.
Mhm.
No, this is not it.
Okay.
Hold on though. It's funny. We just
Hmm.
watched it. Amy. That's so funny. Martha Stewart didn't come up. Hang on, let me just go to YouTube specifically. Oh wait, hang on.
Uh-huh. Huh. Hmm.
Waxworks photo. This is it.
Wax with photo.
Waxworks photo.
Wax with
Works photo dash Martha.
wax.
Mhm.
Work photo.
Oh yeah, there it was. Just there. Did you see it?
There was what? These are yours, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, they're beautiful. Oh, okay.
There she is. Okay. So wait, I
Yeah.
can just send you this link, I think.
All right. I'll look for it also. Martha Stewart. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I've always wanted to try it for, and I was hoping, I could do it with you, but it's going to be quite a while until we get to our workshop. So I'll
Oh,
try it. Oh,
yeah, try it. It's super fun.
okay.
Wait, I'm gonna hold on one second.
Oh, and then how do you get the wax? How do you get the cradle board out of the cold wax off the cookie sheet?
So I lift it. You put something underneath it.
Oh, okay.
I think I just sent you the YouTube link. See if that works for you. So
Okay.
you can do one of two things. You can, if you're using a cradled panel, it
It's
shouldn't be
cradle.
that bad. You should be able to just take a palette knife or a
Okay.
paint
And
scraper
pop it. Well, it's
and
still a
stick it
little
underneath
soft.
there and lift it up without
Okay.
any problem as soon as it cools. Don't lift it up until you're sure that the wax has cooled.
Because otherwise it's going to start.
Well, otherwise it'll
Right.
wait,
Yeah.
right. So
Well,
make
here.
sure it's cool, and then you can stick that thing under there and lift it up, and then you can scrape the edges off. If
Yeah.
it's a flat panel, you can just put something underneath it so that when
So
it
it lifts it. Okay.
just goes over and doesn't go under, because that'll stick it to the.
No, I have slightly cradled, but uh, what was the other question? Oh, do you do paint the sides or do anything, or do you just leave them?
No, you can paint the sides with acrylic paint, or
Okay.
you can decide if you want to scrape the drips off. I mean, I usually scrape the drips down. You can
Mhm.
pre-paint the sides too.
That's
Like
what I
if
meant,
you could
pre-paint the side.
pre-paint them, yeah, and then let the wax go over them and then be
Mm.
done with it, which I think probably maybe looks better.
Okay,
I paint them post and I'm right now using like a middle, like zone 5 gray. I don't know if I love it. It's kind of boring, but
yeah,
it's
okay.
hard. I was using the tar. It's kind of edges
No,
are
I don't want to do that for this, and it's just, for me, it's kind of
or
interesting
white. I don't know.
to do something that's just photo and not, any of
Right.
the
And then what I do
painting
on the
thing.
surface, I used to paint on the surface with
Mm,
Gawked.
what's that?
Gawked is a liquid resin. So
Oh,
it's a painting medium. But it's very, very yellow and it often yellows more over time.
mm-hmm,
So then I decided
okay,
I didn't like it, but I
yeah,
do pigment sticks. So I
mm-hmm,
just they're kind of they look sort of ashy on the surface of the wax, but they will dry. Like I
mm-hmm.
can show you. This is a piece I made. This is a poured piece.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh
Do you
my
like it?
gosh. It almost looks three-dimensional. It looks like
It's
it's
a
on a bowl.
poured. So it's a picture of
Oh,
magnolias,
yeah.
and then it's just a totally flat poured layer of wax, and then I just hand painted with the pigment sticks.
It looks like it's not a bowl, it's like
It looks.
a
Someone said it was a
globe.
plate. Someone said it looks like one of those
Well,
fancy
yeah,
plates.
yeah. Beautiful. Oh my
It's
gosh.
pretty. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
nice process. It's very relaxing. It's very elegant. It's nice. It's calming compared to like sort of that stress and texture and sort of
Something else,
busyness of
yeah.
the encaustic. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
and how much wax would I melt for 8 by 10?
yeah.
Like a
So
pound?
I use a medium saucepan.
Mm-hmm.
Like like uh I like for making rice, like a rice pan.
Yeah,
And
right.
then about half full
Half,
for an 8 by 10, and then you can scrape the wax and put it back in the pot,
yeah, okay. Half
and
full,
then you can remelt it. Just try
okay.
if you use the cookie sheet, it'll keep the wax cleaner.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, great. So I don't have a time. How are we doing on time?
We're 5:20. We can look at a couple more pieces if you had more.
Okay, yeah, that's in the
Yeah.
next set then. And you just stop when you say, okay, we're done for now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So
I
yeah,
wanted,
you can buy one 16-ounce, just
yeah,
buy one of the bags of the BB
okay,
of that wax. It's fine.
okay, try it out.
Yeah.
Okay, this is that one that I've worked on. This is like a 16 by 20
I
because you
like
were
it.
saying
I
you
think it
worked
looks
it.
good.
I do like it. I
I
now
love it.
I also put a close up because what I did is I put lots of wax medium and then I scraped back until I thought it was acceptable. So I have a close up so you could tell me
Yeah,
if you
no, I
think
think it
the
looks
hands are,
great.
well, look at the close up and see if
Okay.
you think the hands are okay because I don't know.
I think they look good. I think that they're like real enough and also soft enough. Like they have both.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell that they're hands, but they're not like, yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, good. Because I made a mistake. I put too much pencil outline because I wanted them to be noticeable, but it was too
Yeah.
much. So
No, this is perfect.
okay, great.
Yeah, because it's like you have like this part and then the rest kind of just fades away and it's soft. Yeah, I think it's
Good,
fine.
good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I think
Now
it's
that,
lovely. And I like the
good,
way the texture kind of comes in and out of sharpness.
good. Okay.
Yeah. No, really nice.
So now on this one, I'm not, I've struggled with this one. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. I did some things that you said and then I didn't like them, so I undid it. And so this is the latest on this
I
one. So
think it looks good. I mean,
you think
I
it's
like it.
okay?
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
only other thing that you could possibly do is just
Mhm.
pop. Did you try popping a little bit of color in these flowers?
Oh, okay. All right. No, I didn't even, I think at one point you said don't put color, but yeah, I can put color
I feel
in
like you mute
a
it, but I feel
little.
like the last time we looked at it, I feel like the background was really bright and it was
Yeah,
already really colorful.
too much.
Now I
Yeah.
think the background is perfect. And I love the dress. I think this looks great.
Yeah, I love this thing where I'm taking just tissue and I just I put wax, I paint wax over it, wax
Yeah,
over it.
that's great. I love the little text. I mean, I think this is great. I think that the flowers could just feel like they're coming forward if
Just
there's
a
like a
bit.
little bit of yellow and pink in them,
Okay,
right? Because you've got
but don't
color
overdo
in
it.
her belt and you got color
Mhm.
behind her. I feel like just the lightest little bit, and I think it's perfect.
Great.
Yeah, I
Okay.
totally like it.
I struggled with it, like I would do it and then I'd pull stuff back and then I'd paint over
I
and
know.
then
I do the same thing with my paintings too. I know. No, I think it looks really good. And
good,
I really feel like she's moving, coming for, I really feel,
good. Okay,
yeah, it's working.
good. All right. Okay. Whew. Just keep going at it. So
All right, wait, this is your milk bath photos?
this is one of the milk bath photos and I really like it. So I'm thinking it would be so much fun to, work with in encaustics.
Wow. Yeah,
Isn't that
beautiful.
cool? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, this
I
young
love
woman
it.
is incredible. I've known her for a long time, and she's an aerial dancer. I
Oh my
mean,
God, I
she's
love
only
it.
she's only 18, but she's also a sculptress. So
Um,
she comes over and she wants to learn encaustic. So she comes over and we play around. And I don't tell her what to do. She just says, "How would I do X?" And I try and show her. But then she comes up with these really sculptural pieces. It's just
wait,
like,
how did you do this? Is that a backdrop around the bath?
yeah, okay. So for her, this picture, yes, it's a blue backdrop, and
Uh-huh.
I slightly desaturated this. Yeah, so I set up this whole thing in my backyard.
Wait, did you get an
Um,
oval? Where'd you get the oval pool?
it's a tin. It's like what horses drink out of
Mhm,
here,
mhm.
or yeah.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I've had that for a while. So I just put a sheet in there and then put the water
Perfect.
and the milk. And I kind of like it semi-desaturated. It just, I
I
don't know.
love it. It's so
Good. I
beautiful.
just wanted to show it to you because I just
Oh
got,
my God, I
I
love
finally,
it.
so this was like the horse picture that you just did. I've had this in my head
Yeah.
for like more than a year. It's like,
Now
okay,
this would be beautiful poured.
it would be,
Oh
oh,
yeah. I mean, it
okay.
would just be beautiful poured. And then you could kind of like, the thing about the pouring is that once you pour it, then you have to kind of play around with using the razor blade because the
Mm-hmm,
idea is that you're putting a totally consistent layer of wax over the whole thing. But
mm-hmm,
what you want is you want what we have in photography where you have the curve of a
mm-hmm,
focal point, like with the view.
mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm,
So you use a razor blade
mm-hmm.
to
To just do her, bring her
yeah, like
face in and the
you would
lace.
scrape away the surface, but
Mm-hmm,
like gently, just on her face or the just like in the center and let the
mm-hmm,
rest of it really
mm-hmm.
blur out.
Well, that's cool. So logistically, I'm only doing with that little printer. I mean, I just barely have gotten the idea of the black and white, so I'm not even trying color. So could you do the color print on this? Are you
Yeah,
you do color? Oh, okay.
I can
So
color. I think yeah, send it to me. Let me play around with it. I actually have to go print tonight. I lost my desktop computer in
ugh,
the beginning of the summer, so I no longer have image print. But I've been printing black and white fine. I haven't tried to print color from Photoshop yet,
I
but I'm going to do it tonight. But I should be able.
yeah, I still haven't been able to get the Hahnemühle ICC profiles into the printer, so
Yeah.
I'm just fudging it and I could get away with it in black and white. I don't even want to think
How
about
you
color.
haven't tried color?
I tried a little bit, but
Yeah.
no, I don't want to get into color. I mean, I'd rather have you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
Let
know
me see if
color
I
is just
can
such
do it.
another thing. But this will be a while. But the other thing is, there's a part of me that would love to do this big, but as a pour, oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
how would you do a big pour? I mean, do you do that or?
You just melt more wax and you just
Yeah.
need something to pour into. Like you could put two cookie trays next to each other. The
Oh,
idea
and
is
pour
just
over.
catching the wax that
Okay.
runs off. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean,
Okay. Okay. So it is possible. I better practice a lot with the smaller pieces and then try Yeah, because you were saying
Yeah.
that I should be working bigger now.
I think that I honestly think bigger is easier in a weird way, but it's just more muscle, it's more material, it's just more muscle, you know. But
Yeah,
I
but
think that
I
the
get it.
small things, it's like you don't fuss as much about the small things because
Yeah,
texturally it's just all makes more
yeah,
sense bigger. You kind of,
yeah.
it's a little bit easy. I think it's easier because every little thing doesn't have as much weight.
Yeah. Well, and also with these little studies that I've been doing,
Yeah.
it just feels like, oh, it seems kind of cramped for the amount of space. Like I'd like to open it up more. So,
Right.
but
Right.
it's been good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, you've been
Okay.
working pretty much 11 by 14, right? 10 by
8 by
10.
10, 11 by 14, and
Yeah, so
a little
just
bit of square. Yeah.
jump up one size.
Yeah.
Jump up one, try, I like 16 by 16 is a really nice size, and 16 by 20, 16 by 24. Those are all really nice sizes for the
Okay.
next level.
Yeah, for right now, for me, 11 by 14 is the jump. But I have that the angel wing one that's 16 by 20, and then I've
Yeah.
got one that I'm doing of star, and that'll be I think it's 16 by 24. It's really
Are
big.
you doing the white horse again? Or are you doing something else?
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't laid it down yet, but okay. Well, we
All right.
got through it.
All right, yeah, we did everything. We're like right on time. So
Okay.
thanks for okay, so I'm gonna
Uh,
stop the recording, but wait. Um
yeah. Do you want to set a